to talk about this thing. Conflict resolutions. When is enough enough? In any relationship, there's bound to be conflict. Stop beating a dead horse. Have you ever been irritated by somebody who is going back to a settled issue? You see, you have agreed about something. It's the deal. It's gone. Closed chapter. And somebody wants to revive it. You know, I get irritated when you are done with something and you just put it in a box and somebody wants to revive it for no apparently good reason. You see, some efforts, my friends, are futile because there will be no expectation. There are no results expected. It's like milking a bull. You see, it is pointless to bring up an issue that has already been talked about before. You know, my friend, you engage yourself in an argument and you're like, this argument is not leading us anywhere. Next agenda. I think we need to tell people to stop beating a dead horse. You see, there are people who never change their mind. Their no is a no. This phrase was used back in 19th century. Some would say it was way back in 17th century, where you'd beat a horse, or horses were beaten so that they would go faster. And that was acceptable. Now, to beat a dead horse would be pointless, as it would not be able to go anywhere. It cannot do anything. It's dead. But if your horse is alive, you beat it and it will move faster. That's where the phrase comes from. You see, we said in this forum a few weeks ago that there are certain realities of life that we must reckon with. Among them is that there are people that are brought in your life for a reason, for a season, or maybe for a lifetime. And for those that are meant for a season, they are meant for a time. And when their time elapses, they are of no use. Don't push people in your life whose time has come to an end. It is like beating a dead horse. You see, my friends, it is like trying to fit that square peg in a round hole. It won't work. How do you wake up a dead horse to start running again? We also are in changing times. Back home, we have a saying that says, Jogoo la Shabani haliwiki mjini. The village cock does not crow in town. As a social scientist, I'll tell you that culture is dynamic. And every time in our lives, we always try to renegotiate cultural identities. There is nothing that stays forever. Even in a good book, Our master said, you know, it was said before, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. But I tell you that if anyone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to them on the other cheek also. They are changing times, my friend. Some of us want to live in the 18th or 19th century, 20th century, to be more relevant to some of us who are old. It doesn't work. Some of your times are like dead horses. And don't try to wake them up because they're not going to wake up. We find ourselves so irrelevant with the things that are current. And that's why we get frustrated, because we want to live in yesteryears, cultures. Something worked in your home country. It can't work now. It's a different environment. The relationship you had, the title, the respect, the honor you got back there, it can't work here. Those of us who are from Kenya, this is America. This is 2020. It is not 1960, not 1970, not 1980, not 2000. It is 2020. And we try to wake up those dead horses. We try to beat them. They cannot wake up. You're overtaken by events. Even in relationships. You see, we get frustrated with people we cannot change. Do you have a spouse that is so irritable? Your children? Or a situation at your home that you've tried to change and you've realized that it's like a dead horse. Even if you beat it, it can't wake up. Oh, I'll tell you, for this is different. Don't get me right. I'll tell you a formula about it. When you are in a situation where this cannot change and you vowed for worse, for good, and you've tried to change this person, it's like a dead horse. Cannot wake up, cannot run, it's not alive. We've always said that you might change yourself instead of changing your spouse. If you're stubborn and you got to live with this person, you change yourself. Or if this person has become a thorn in the flesh, you know what you do? You ask for grace to live with this person. The Apostle Paul in the good book had a thorn in the flesh. It is not, people have not agreed to know what it was, but the good Lord said, I'm not going to remove it from you. My grace is sufficient for you. And therefore, there are some horses we have, and by the way, don't go call people dead horses, but I'm only using this phrase to help you. But there are horses that are dead, my friend. And some you're going to live with them. Unfortunately, you need to have that grace. And sometimes to change yourself, if you must live with this dead horse. Oh, but if it is abusive, if someone is abusive to a point where somebody is almost taking your life, or you think that he's beating you, abusing you to a point that he might kill you, hey, walk out. Oh yes, you heard me well. Sometimes you may need to walk out. You know why? Dead people don't speak. I know some of you are wondering what's the bishop saying here. I'm just saying on the extreme. I'm tired of burying people who've been killed, butchered by beastly people who think that their spouses are boxing mattresses and all that. But anyway, go back to our topic. Don't beat a dead horse because you'll be wasting your time. And that's why we get frustrated in life, because we don't know what to do with them. In the business world, those of us who have projects, who have invested in certain areas, you know, why are you stuck with a business that is not yielding anything good? All you have is just negative results. Are you keeping it because it is nice, it is fashionable? Oh, you might lose your identity because you're known by this business? It's a dead horse. You know it is not working. You know this business is not yielding what you'd want. Oh, you came from Kenya or any other part of the world and what you're doing was working. But your career, your profession does not make sense here in America. Why do you expect good results from a dead horse? You change. Some of us are not ready to swallow that pride. You want to live in the yester glory, in an investment in a profession that worked then. Hey, these are new days. They are new times. So if something is not working, my friend, don't try to start it again. Get to a new venture. There are a lot of opportunities out there. And even now, if whatever you're doing has become a dead horse and you're beating it up, it's not waking up, change course. If people are given to you for a reason and for a season, it is true in our lives. We may also need to change what we do, our investment, our jobs. If it doesn't get satisfaction, why do you have to wait until you're kicked out? Why do you have to wait until you get frustrations to know this is my time? You gotta open your eyes. Be alert. What about our homes? You're trying this with your spouse, with your partner. It's not working. Doing things over and over again the same way and expecting the same results, it's not going to help you. Don't do things because other people are doing. Don't move. Don't relocate because someone else has relocated. Discover your path. Because I believe every one of us has a path. All of us are blessed in certain way. Discover what your path is, what you're good at, and what you like doing. When it comes to our children, you're pushing them into a career they're not comfortable with. You might be a doctor, you might be an engineer, you might be this and all that. Hey, don't push them. That's like beating a dead horse. Our son one day woke up and said, you know what? I'm in mechanical engineering and I don't know why I'm in engineering. Is it for a big name? I want to go to computer because unless you're conversant in the computer world, you're irrelevant. Of course, coming from my background, it didn't hurt to hear my son is an engineer, but for what? Is he going to school for me and his mama? or for his life and his passion. And for us, it was like, as long as you're in school, go for it. Don't beat a dead horse, my friend. If there is no hope, if there is nothing that's going to work out of it, don't waste your time. Discover other ventures. There are a lot of opportunities in this world. You keep waking up that dead horse, you get frustrated, my friend. In our lives, we get bored with life. We have what you call boredom. And I've always encouraged those that find that life is like a dead horse. And some of the things I would encourage us to do is that if you want to keep the horse alive, I think next time we need to talk about keeping our horses alive so that they are not dead. Do some changes, especially for people you are stuck with, in quote. Stuck means like, how do you get away from family? There are people that you're always going to be with. Do something to keep this horse alive. For example, if something is not working, you've done this thing over and over again, tilt it. Change place. In my mother tongue language, we say that when you have to stay in one place, you are going to entertain lice. Chawa. So sometimes you need to change. Go for a vacation. Get new scenery. To relieve monopoly. To get away from this monopoly of life, If you're eating, change eating habits. Tilt your home, change your bed. Let it look the other way. Change the curtains. Change something, Just do something different. So that your home doesn't become dead. But you also need to open your eyes so that you realize what you have so that you don't get bored or feel like my life is dead, because sometimes we ignore what we have and we think it's dead. Oh, I had this story, and I'm sure I may have told before, maybe, of somebody who wanted to move away, and he asked a realtor to look for a home, a new environment. And so the realtor had to sell his house so that he could get him another house. So he had to describe about this house that he's about to sell so that, can get good money. So he described the house located in this place. School zone, best school, security, cleanliness, no burglary and all that. It's all good stuff. And when the owner saw the description of his house, he said, wait a minute. Is this a description of my house that you're going to sell? This is exactly what I want. This is the kind of a house I want. And the realtor said, well, you got it. This is where you live. So before you call your horse dead, open your eyes. You know what? Let's make sure that before this horse dies, change, adjust its outlook. Just like you. Look at yourself. Take care of yourself so that you don't become a dead horse to yourself. In conclusion, my friend, don't waste energy on something that has no chance of succeeding. That's the point. Especially when you're engaging yourself in a fruitless effort, it doesn't help. It's like beating a horse that is dead. So look at your life. Just look at your life, where you are in your life, what you do, the things you've been trying over and over and over again, and there are no results. I don't know why you are there, waking up this dead horse. Open your eyes. The opportunity is out there. And if a chapter is closed in life, don't keep staying there wallowing and whining, especially when you know it's not going to come back. It's like a dead person who has died and you're at the graveside praying, waiting that this person is going to come back. And you know, unless a miracle happens, which is unusual, this person is not going to come back. You got to wake up and live your life and move on. If it is somebody who has left you, somebody has divorced you and gone and has remarried and goes, come on. Don't beat a dead horse. Forget it. Think about, there are many other things to do. Career is not working. This thing is not helping you. Don't sit there crying and wallowing, thinking that you're going to wake up and see things different. It's a dead horse. It's dead. Don't try to revive, revamp, or re-engineer interest in something which has died, and you know it's dead. Will you do that for me? Stop beating a dead horse. Thank you. See you next time.